Wall Street insiders don't send LinkedIn messages. They don't send cold emails. They send a $15 FedEx envelope with something inside that gets opened every single time. And it's beating every digital strategy out there. Here's why. 424 billion emails are sent every single day in 2026. Your perfectly crafted message isn't just competing with other consultants, it's drowning in an ocean of noise. Cold outreach has turned into a game where the odds are stacked violently against you. But here's what's changed in 2026. Sending a cold email to a CEO isn't person to person anymore. It's your AI talking to their AI, and their AI decides what's worth their time. Gmail's Gemini AI now reads every email before it hits the inbox. It's not just asking, is this spam? It's asking, is this email worth the user's attention? And here's the scary part. Up to 40% of emails that reach Gmail are being hidden by AI before a human ever sees them. Executives are overwhelmed. B2B decision makers get over 120 emails per day. Cold email response rates have dropped to 4% or less, and 71% of decision makers say the top reason they don't respond is a lack of relevance. You're trying to whisper in a stadium where everyone else is screaming. But there's still one channel inside the Fortune 1000 that feels important. A channel where the competition is almost zero. A physical FedEx envelope with a real book inside sent to a specific person tied directly to a problem that they care about. Here's what stands out in the research. While digital response rates are collapsing, direct mail is seeing a comeback. Direct mail gets a 4.4% response rate. Email gets just 0.12%. That's 37 times more effective. And dimensional packages, things that have weight and shape like a book, get a 6 to 12% response rate. That's not just better, that's a completely different game. That's the thud factor campaign, named after the thud sound your book makes landing on your future client's desk. It's hard to ignore. So when you send a book in a FedEx envelope, you're not just sending another touch point, you're using costly signaling theory. You're sending a physical signal that says, I invested time, money, and thought into reaching out. And in 2026, almost nobody is doing that. Here's what shifts when you do this. You stop fighting for a tiny slice of attention inside the inbox, and you move your first contact from, hey, they might see it, to someone must decide what to do with this package. You go from being easy to ignore to being hard to throw away. The conversation begins before you ever speak because the book and the package frame you as an authority with a methodology, not a vendor with a pitch. And let's be clear about the goal here. The goal is not for them to read every page before they talk to you. The goal is to earn a place on the desk and a slot on the calendar. This hits home because I know you're putting real effort into your outreach. You're writing thoughtful emails. You're crafting custom LinkedIn messages. And yet you still find yourself ghosted by the exact people you can help the most. You end up stuck between weak, cold outreach and slow, unpredictable referrals. You need a concrete way to cut through the noise, especially when one new executive client can shift your entire year's revenue. So, as digital channels get more crowded and more AI controlled, the physical channel stays relatively quiet and underused. Now, here's how different experts see this. Cold email specialists will tell you email still works if you send massive volume, and they're not wrong. It's just a numbers game. Direct response marketers will tell you their highest value campaigns have always involved FedEx envelopes and lumpy mail like books aimed at a short list of key prospects. Publishing experts see the book as the thickest business card whose real job is to open doors. Sales leaders view this as account-based marketing. But the best operators blend it all together. They do their research, they sharpen their message, and then they deliver it in a format that nobody feels comfortable ignoring. This is really a story about the price of attention. As digital outreach got cheaper, everyone rushed in and trust eroded. As physical outreach got more expensive, more people stopped using it, which is actually what made it more powerful for those who stayed. A book and a FedEx envelope is not just a clever idea, it's media arbitrage. You're moving your first touch into a channel where your cost per meaningful conversation is actually lower than pounding away with another email sequence. And the data backs this up. Direct mail generates $42 in ROI for every $1 spent. And yes, both views can be true. Email is excellent for follow-up, but for high-stakes relationships, relying on email for your first impression is a financial risk you shouldn't take. Let's look at the math, because this is where the whales think differently than the amateurs. The big players work backwards from lifetime value. If one new consulting client is worth $50,000 to your business and you identify 50 perfect prospects and you spend $15 per package to reach them, that's a $750 investment total. If that $750 campaign generates just one client, You've turned $750 into $50,000. It's not a gamble. That is a strategic experiment with massive upside. They're not trying to broadcast to everyone. They're designing a system that creates a small number of high quality conversations with people who can say yes. I know the questions are popping up right now. Is it really worth $15 when email is free? What if the assistant throws it away? What if the CEO doesn't read the book? Look, the answers are straightforward. Is it worth it when the lifetime value of one client dwarfs the mailing costs? Assistants rarely discard something that looks custom and valuable, and the CEO does not have to read the book. They just have to decide you're worth meeting. The book is the credential, the package is the delivery vehicle, and the meeting is the product. Has this happened before? Yes. In previous decades, the legends of direct response used FedEx envelopes and odd-shaped boxes to reach busy decision makers. The pattern is consistent. When the herd crowds into the cheapest channel, the winners pay a premium to stand out. If you're watching this, there's a good chance that your business relies heavily on referrals. That works until it doesn't. A focused Thud Factor campaign lets you identify the exact leaders that you want to work with. You move from waiting to be discovered to quietly placing yourself on the desks of people who sign the checks. But here's what separates the consultants who get meetings from the consultants who get clients. Getting the package on the desk is only step one. That's access. When the CEO opens that FedEx envelope and pulls out your book, they're going to ask one question. Is this the person who literally wrote the book on my problem, or just another consultant looking for work? That single question decides everything. I had a client, a patent attorney, who won a major speaking engagement because the decision maker told him, I know a lot of lawyers, but you're the only one who wrote the book on this. Another client handed his book to a prospect on a Friday night. By Saturday morning, that CEO texted him a photo of the book sitting next to his coffee, asking, how do we start working together? That's not access, that's authority. And that's why I pulled this video out here for you to watch next. Because once you understand how the book actually flips the power dynamic, you'll never look at outreach the same way again. You'll stop chasing prospects and start watching them chase you. Click the video right here, and I'll see you over there.